Well, you know what time it is.
Hey everybody, welcome to our full throttle after show, guys. This is where we break down the weekly news. We recap what we did throughout the project today. Our main stream is at 3 p.m. Central. We went early today because I had a lot to do, guys, and I'm glad I did. There was a lot that I needed to do. Between the unboxing that we did, the work that we did back here on Crimson Vortex, just got some news on Crimson Vortex, so there'll be some developments on that later on, guys. I'm not going to drop that tonight, but yeah, there will be some talk about that later on. That being said, welcome to the Full Throttle After Show. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you guys are not subscribed, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member of the channel. For as little as $3 a month, you guys can become channel members and you guys get early access to videos that we do. A lot of the news stuff I don't clip ahead of time because it's all based on what the week is, and sometimes I will cover something that happened on Friday, which is when I usually create my streams. That being said, usually I focus on the main topics and stuff like that. I release early to members. Also, if I have multiple topics that I want to cover or multiple projects that I want to do, I will usually put a poll out and the members get to vote on the content that's being created. Jay, good to have you in here tonight. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, we're going to be covering news tonight, guys. This gets into the Full Throttle After Show. This is just kind of a wrap up, a chance for us to kind of chit chat more and talk about whatever we want to talk about, whether it's news stuff, whether it's related to automotive or not. Sometimes I just open chat it and let it open chat after we cover news. So good to have you guys in here today. Let's go ahead. I'm going to check a few things and then we're going to get rolling right into this. So I usually want to check, make sure everything is rolling good. Awesome, awesome. For all of my streams, guys, I usually turn off monetization until after the show. This way, you guys don't have to deal with ads. For people that actually watch me and pay attention, I want them to be able to watch pretty much ad-free as we continue to do the projects. So especially on the 3 p.m., I like to make sure there's no ads. I usually try to do it for the Full Throttle After Show as well. Anyone catching it on replay, they can go ahead and watch the ads. That's fine. Set up all chat so I can see everybody. Pay attention to top fans today, so we'll see who comes in and pay attention to all the top fans. Guys, just so you know, anyone who is watching the stream for the first time, if you are within the top 3 of the chat and you're engaging and you're helping the content, usually I mod up the top 3. So just a way for the top fan thing to actually be useful. A lot of streamers don't do that. I do. That being said, I think we're ready to get rolling into the news, guys. Chat in any questions that you have down below or anything that you want to comment as I'm covering the news story. I will read chats. Usually I'll do a story, give you my breakdown, and then I check chats. So that's kind of how the progression goes here. Double checking a few more things. Let me get something to drink quick, and then we're going to get rolling into this. All right. So, like I said, my long stream, my throat started to hurt. There was a lot of stuff that I was covering. We were talking about different projects. So, yeah, I'm chugging my water. I got to do one more thing, and then we'll get on to the news here. All right. Now that we got that going, we're good to go here. All right. Guys, welcome to our 7 p.m. stream, which is about news. Let's get cracking. I'm going to pull this up, and we're going to take a look at what we got here. Boom. Okay, so this was something that I covered. Fix my camera quick, guys. All right, so what you guys are seeing on screen was something that I covered in our the 3 p.m. Live, which was I showed everyone how to look up parts, how to verify that they had the right part, and then also on a deal like this, when we replace wiper arms, it's nice to know that we got the proper wiper arm in the right spot. A lot of times, the ones on the left and right are different on a car. So you do need to figure out which one's the left and which one's the right. We were able to verify that based on the part number, and I put the proper part number in the proper location. So I will close that down. Check chats quick. Okay. I don't see anything new, so let's get rolling into the news, guys. All right, so right off the top here, we're looking at Toyota's most imported small car. Guys, this is going to be the Toyota Prius. It really is. Let's click on it for humor's sake, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Prius. I'm wrong. They consider the Corolla the smallest import car. All right, all right. So, kind of covering it, the Corolla has come a long ways, guys. To be honest with you, the Toyota Corolla is a nice daily driver car. The GTR is the more advanced. It's going to have more horsepower. It'll come with a manual option. All of these are nice things, but to be honest with you, this car is appealing to, yeah, right there, in manual in the picture. Right there. So what they're appealing to is what they call the hot hatch, because this is the hatchback model. The GTR or the GR is their performance package. It's going to have the best handling. It's basically as close as they could make that car become a race car. So it's kind of surprised that it was the Corolla, but once they showed it, I guess I shouldn't have been too surprised. But yeah, there is a lot of Toyota Corollas sold. They're saying 200,000 units sold. Pre-pandemic, it was near 300K. That's a lot of cars, guys. It is. That's a lot of cars to be making. That's a lot of cars to be importing. It's a lot of cars to be selling. The company made a ton of money just off of this platform alone. And that's something we have to look at is what is selling? Why is it selling? Is it because it has good horsepower? Is it because it's fun to drive? Is it because it's reliable? Is it because that it's affordable to get into? A lot of times that is the case. When a car is affordable, they will sell units. Kia Soul sells because they're affordable. You can't buy the same thing in a GM, Ford, or Dodge that you could buy in a Kia. That's why Kias sell so well. That's why Toyota Corollas sell so well, is because they're affordable. An estimated price of $27K. Guys, a lot of people can actually buy these cars almost new. You could buy one 1 or 2 years old and you'll take probably a good $5,000 to $7,000 off of that price. Just off of a car that's still fairly new with less than 50K on it. And honestly, that's the best way to get into a used car, is get one that hasn't been trashed on. I do plan on doing a video specifically on buying used cars. It was a topic brought up to me by one of my mods. He was in today, and he asked me about doing a video that would explain all that. Oh, it's a hybrid? Yeah. Yeah, that's not any fun. Thank you for that input there, Jay. Yeah, if they're doing them as hybrids, guys, this is a bad program. Yeah, it says right in here, today's Corolla hybrid and GTR Corolla. So, well, GR Corolla. The GR Corolla may not be a hybrid, but the rest of their platform is going to be a hybrid, guys. It's going to be I should say it's a half. Still bad enough, but as long as the powertrain still connects to the wheels, it's not horrible. So that kind of covers the Toyota Corolla news. We'll flop back out of here. Yeah, they can keep trying to give more power to that car, but here's the problem. Hold up. You can give that car as much power as you want. This Ford Mustang is still going to have problems competing with serious hypercars. It will not compete in the realm of Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini. Yes, Corvette is claiming they can, but they're too heavy. The cars are too heavy to compete. Honestly, the weight might be considered an advantage if they're putting the power to the ground and the others are not. But the problem is nowadays there is traction control management, meaning that they'll put as much power to the ground as they possibly can before they break the tires loose. Meaning that a heavier car will not have that advantage of weight transfer. Without weight transfer as an advantage, you don't stand a chance. And that's the truth when it comes to racing, is weight management. The reason the Ford Mustang GTD can corner extremely well is because it's weight balanced properly. The Corvette's going to be back end heavy because they're doing a mid-engine car, not a front-engine car. When they're going under a hard acceleration, when that weight transfers, here's what happens. All right, hold up. When a car takes off at high speed and it's trying to push forward, what happens is it wants to push the weight back the harder you accelerate until the tires break loose. Once the tires break loose, that weight transfer goes back forward again. You don't want that weight going back forward. You want it to stay in back so that you maintain traction. When you feel a car lift under a hard takeoff, that is a sign that the weight transfer is perfect. And that is a very, very hard thing to do in cars that do not have good weight transfer ability. The Mustang will have better weight transfer ability than the Corvette. I hate to give Ford the credit on this one, but because they're keeping to that platform, they're able to transfer weight, at least in the straight line and in some cornering, because that motor is still up front. They lose that advantage. Corvette loses that advantage when they do it the other way. And that's the problem, is they've lost the advantage that they used to have. Check chats quick since I drummed on about that. Oreo, good to have you in here today. Mike, good to have you in here today. That's what my girlfriend tells me. Yeah, Mike was the one who suggested that I do a breakdown video of all used cars. Like how to buy them, how to spot damage when you're going to do the full inspection. Guys, this truck right here has had front end damage done to it. That light has been replaced. The fender has been replaced. The door has been painted. The front bumper has been painted. There is so much on here, guys, that I'll be able to really break this down for you guys and show you how to spot these things when you're buying used cars. So that video will be coming up. So Mike, look for that. It will be happening. It's probably going to be a few weeks out. Like I said, we've got radio install that's going to be happening next week. Oil change on the Honda that you guys saw about a month ago. There was a green Honda that was here for a while. Guys, it was here for way too long. So the green Honda was here. We did a lot to that car. I just talked to the owner actually today, and a really cool thing. The car's running great. AC works awesome that we fixed. Doesn't have any oil leaks. Everything's running perfect on it, and they drive it a lot. They put a lot of miles on that car. Literally, they've had the car maybe a month and a half, 2 months. They're already ready for an oil change. That's how much they're driving every single day. So a little that they're driving that much, but hey, that's what they bought it for, was to drive it and use it up. So that's what they're going to do. Mike says, will do. Look forward to it. Yeah, Mike, it's you gave me the idea. We're going to put that video together. It's going to take a few weeks, but I'll put it together and we'll get everything lined out that you guys need to know when buying a used car. There's a lot of signs and a lot of things I can teach you guys, especially since I went to school for auto body and I've spent how many years underneath the hood turning wrenches. I can spot maintenance that has or has not been done instantly. I can also spot when there's body damage very quickly. So you guys, that'll be a really solid video from start to finish. Awesome. Let's get back into the news, guys. I'll check back in with you once we do a story here. All right. Question mark. Car safety's getting an upgrade. Here's what's coming in 2029. Oh boy, I may not want to see this. Great.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm usually far more composed. I'm just a little bit absolutely livid.
Go figure that Volvo would be on the innovating front for this. This is already saying that the 3-point seat belts are unsafe, which they kind of are because you have the one belt riding across your shoulder. Most people in a high-speed accident will break their collarbone in an accident because they're not being held in by both. Usually, if you're strapped in with both and then you have a center drop-down harness, again, this isn't ideal for the average driver. But if you had a 3 or 4-point harness, you would be in the car more secure to where at the speeds that we currently drive, it would be safer. The only thing is it takes a lot more to get buckled in, and people aren't going to want to buckle up that much. It's hard enough to get people just to grab, pull, and click. But That's if they went to a 4-point harness in cars, I think we would see a lot less injuries. And honestly, guys, I think LS Goat is going to get a 4-point harness. I really think I will put a 4-point harness in that car. That car can travel fast enough that it needs to have it. They're talking about the 3-point harness.
You stupid.
AI-driven system. All right, here's where I knew I wasn't going to like this. If they're already saying that they want to leverage the AI driving system, then they're going to try to use that system to control accidents and basically create less injuries. They're also going to use the AI system to have it safer on pedestrians in residential areas, meaning that the vehicle will probably have a governor on it and will get limited as far as speed. This is what you need to look into when you read these articles. And knowing cars, you understand what's coming. This is a problem because this basically turns your car into a cell phone. When it doesn't work, you're going to throw it away and you're going to buy another one. We're taking a car from what this should be and is to something that's disposable and throwaway. We don't want this. This is going in the opposite direction of what we want to see. They're preaching on the 3-point harness here, but if you guys didn't read the article close enough, you would have missed the leveraging AI technology. Yeah, they're going to use the AI for automatic emergency braking. Guys, these are the things we have to watch out for. This just proves that any vehicle built in probably the last 7 years is a... Yeah, it wants to use all of it, the lane keep assist, the blind spot monitoring, even rear seat belt reminders. They're going to use the AI to cut the power or cause the car not to move just to reduce fatal injuries. I heard about this a few years ago. I touched on the topic. It went away. Now it's back again. Yeah, technologies for even detecting drunk drivers. Guys, this is getting into scary territory. This is straight up using eye tracking to tell if you're falling asleep, infrared scanning, a passive breathalyzers. Oh, come on. I absolutely hate these systems. They are way too cumbersome. They're going to be nothing but problems to fix. And when they start breaking, most mechanics aren't going to work on them. Let's be honest. People are either going to find a way to bypass the system or they're just not going to buy those vehicles.
Bruh.
That's what's going to happen. Let's check the chats here. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not a fan of what's going on there. I really am not. I see way too many problems. Guys, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. Today is August 31st. We are doing our Full Throttle After Show where we cover the news. I'm just going through, checking chats right now. It's your first time here, guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Help us grow the channel. Every little bit helps, and if you guys get a chance, go back after this video and check out what we did today. It'll give you an idea of a lot of future projects coming. A lot. You can ask any of the mods in here, guys. I went through it and I showed you guys a ton of stuff. There will be a lot of spoilers in that video for things coming up. All right. Get back into the news since I don't see too many more chats. Right here, guys. GMC Sierra EVAT4. Guys, this isn't a truck. This is a toy for people who drive in major cities. That's what that is. And the fact that they would even bother calling this a truck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm usually far more composed. I'm just a little bit absolutely livid.
So yeah, not a fan of that at all. Ford. Ford did this because they got schooled by two Corvettes at Nuremberg. Their big, expensive Mustang GTD basically got spanked by two Corvettes that were driven by the design team, not even driven by professional drivers. So Ford decides to take their Ford F-150 to Nuremberg and set records with a pickup truck. Guys, pickup trucks are the most aerodynamic vehicle you can get your hands on. Trucks are not made to go fast, they're made to tow and haul. The fact that they made this Ford go fast enough at Nuremberg to even set any records is just a straight up they did this to prove a point. They did this to prove that they're still top dog. That's all this is. This is a straight up it's a straight up shot to the face. It's saying to all the people that got supercars and hypercars that are going there, you guys can't even beat our pickups. That's what that was. This is an ego thing. That's all that is. Check chats real quick. Yeah, it's a straight up waste of time that they're going to take a pickup to Nuremberg. That's it's laughable at best. It really is. They're doing it for bragging status. That's it. It's just bragging rights now. That's all this is. All right. Keep going here, guys. Oh, hurry up and get your EV while the EV tax credits are still available.
You stupid.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that bullshit. They can take those fire hazard death traps and just put them in the middle of the desert someplace and let them burn to the ground. I said it. I don't care. Honda's bragging that after 5 months, their interior cabin design is still a winning design. Guys, this is just... Even if they dropped the hybrid and just made it a gas engine, it would probably even sell more cars, to be honest with you. But hybrids are here to stay, and I've explained why several times. If you guys want me to explain again why hybrids are going to stick around, give me ones in the chat. Give me twos if you guys already heard me talk about it. I'll check back with you as you guys type that in. Ooh. Let me check chats quick. Nope. All right. You guys haven't chatted anything yet if you guys wanted me to explain why hybrids are here to stay. So I'll keep going. Guys, I want to cover this one here. Ford places another 355 F-Series trucks under a stop sale for the latest recall. This is going to hurt Ford's sales for fourth quarter. You guys...
Well, I sure hope somebody picks up that phone, because I f***ing called it!
This is going to crush their fourth quarter sales. The reason why is whenever a company comes out with big recalls, they automatically lose sales day one that it's announced. When this was announced August 27th, I guarantee you if you look back at their sales prior on August 26th and compare them to price or number of sales on August 28th, the number went down. And we don't have that information because Ford keeps that under lock and key because they have so many recalls that they're dealing with. Same happened to Chevy. When Chevy had that massive recall on their engines and on their transmissions, their sales plummeted. This is not something that we want to see in the used car market. These massive recalls are making it to where these cars are being bought, driven for a short time, and pulled off the market. What this is going to do is destroy the used car market and force everyone to have to buy whatever new crap they're coming out with. Guys, we saw this scam during the Cash for Clunkers when our wonderful president, Mr. O, decided to do a Cash for Clunkers program. It didn't wipe out the junk down below. It wiped out the middle range of vehicles that still had value. Those vehicles we could be driving today, but they're gone because they were crushed. Unfortunately, this is the scam that we deal with. It's just being done in recalls, and it's being done by poor parts management. Honestly, I hope companies like this really get schooled in their sales and get taught a lesson to stop putting bad vehicles out like this. Jay, never get a Ford. Yeah, I could probably agree with that. There's too many issues with Fords, guys. To be honest with you, Ford has done so many bad things. Mike says stock has been going up since August 1. Okay, hold on. Here's the issue why I don't trust stocks. Stocks are controlled by the wealthy who can afford to buy stocks. The Ford stock could be going up because they're putting more stock out onto the market and people are buying stock. Not only that, but people who work within the company are also getting stock incentives as they work for the company. So they're selling more stocks constantly. So it's going to look like it's going up. The metric we have to follow is the sales numbers. And we need real sales numbers. But the problem is they're never going to truly release the sales numbers in the way that we need them to be able to figure out exactly how bad this is going to hurt them. Like I said, Ford used to make really good stuff. Guys, the fact that they're offering 000 on Fords currently tells you all you need to know about where the company is at a financial level. They are struggling to sell cars. This is because they're going to offer these kind of incentive packages, meaning they're going to make $0 on interest, $0 on down payment, and $0 for deposits. Meaning you're not going to have to put any cash up front, you're not going to pay any interest, and you're not going to have to pay any of that stuff. The fact that they're even doing that tells you all you need to know. Chevy did it way back before the whole scandemic, and because of that, they took a hit. But they also took it for another reason. Mr. O decided to invest in the company. Which is, on that side, GM, I'm not happy with them. A lot of GM stuff I don't like after a certain point. I think they went straight up government motors and when it comes down to it, I would either buy Chevy or Ford or GMC. I would not buy anything Dodge or Stellantis, not right now. And I really wouldn't buy anything foreign. The reason I wouldn't buy anything foreign, we bought a Kia, learned a valuable lesson there, guys. The valuable lesson we learned, getting the parts for a foreign car. That's the problem. If we have motor troubles in Champagne Bubbles, there's a chance we may not get a motor for it for a while. So, and after the news I had today on this thing over here, yeah, it might be here for a little bit. So, but that is a deeper conversation that I need to have with the family before I can tell you guys everything about it. So I will be doing that, and I'll talk to you guys about it next week. Let's get back into the news. Check a few things here. Yeah, some people are big Ford fans, some people are not. I see we got 4 people in here. Guys, hit that like button for me. We're only at 50% engagement. Let's get that up and get some more people in here. Awesome. All right, back to the news. All right, we already covered this about them bragging about their interior design is still a win. Jerk, jerk, not a big deal. We talked about that Mustang. One's if you guys want me to talk about this mini EV truck. 2, if you guys want me to skip it. 1, if you guys want me to cover it. 2, if you want me to skip it. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. You guys already know how I feel about EVs in the first place. So, 1's if you guys want me to cover it. 2, if you guys want me to skip it. I'll give you guys a chance to answer. Jay with a solid 2. Awesome. See if we get it. Mike with a solid 2. Awesome. All right, guys. I'm going to skip that. That is not something I really cared to talk about in the first place because you guys already know how I feel. Subaru Outback gets more SUV stylish. I'm going to guess it does come with a higher price tag. Why? Because on a redesign, they always raise the price. Unless they can turn off the driver assist garbage, I don't even care to talk about that one. Because honestly, a lot of the driver assist stuff is just trash. It's very intrusive. It's not accurate, usually at all. So, just, it's a really bad system. And as those systems get older, you're not going to want to work on them. You won't be able to work on them. Let's just, hold on. Let's call it what it is. On a driver assist system like that, you're not going to be able to work on it. You're going to need an extensive computer that has the software and knowledge to even communicate with it just to figure out what's wrong with it. Then once you figured out what's wrong with it, you're going to have to get parts that are specially made, probably overseas, and are extremely expensive. This is why a lot of the younger generation are going to low technology vehicles. So, wait. Let's roll this back. Okay, guys, I know a lot of people, a lot of younger people that have bought new vehicles. And the one thing I can tell you is they all have bought lower packaged vehicles, not the very high expensive models. The reason for this is they want a vehicle that works, not one that's going to fall apart. When you got one that's loaded heavy with technology, you have nothing but problems with it. You chase problems, wiring, computers, all of this, lack of communication, cheap screens put in the dashes that break and fall apart and don't work. Both Dodge, Ford, and Chevy are known for cutting corners in the technology sectors of their vehicles to sell cars, but they still put those features out there and it winds up failing, and the drivers wind up eating that cost once the vehicle is over a certain age, usually about 8 years old. I'm going to check the chat after that one. Yeah, Jay, I would drive without a driver assist any day of the week. I absolutely hate it. Half the time it does things I don't want it to do. Absolutely cannot stand it. More EV garbage. You guys even care if I cover the refresh again of the 2026 Tesla? One's if you guys want me to cover the redesign, or if you guys just want two if you want me to skip it. One if you want me to cover the Tesla, two if you want me to skip it. Stinky. Heck no. All right. We're going to skip right on by that sumbitch. EVs suck. Yeah, they do. Yeah, we're skipping that. Again, more EV. They're trying to make EVs sound fast and cool. Trying to say that they can beat Tesla, they can beat this EV, they can beat that EV. Our EV is better than your EV. Guys, it's all just trash. Again, more EV. The Valkyrie, guys, is an EV. Gull-wing doors on a Tesla. Are we trying to be a flippin' DeLorean? Maybe if we're smart, they'll go the way of the DeLorean. All right, we saw this one last week. I'm going to switch over now to our other site. This side goes a little quicker, guys, because a lot of these news stories get recycled between the two sites. So when we cover one, we usually go through Motor Trend top to bottom, and then usually this one goes a little quicker. Apparently, they're already facing lawsuits on their EV Hondas. That's funny. Let me go up here and click on news for you guys so I get exact news topics. Oh. Oh, let's cover this. So, I'm sure everyone who's old enough knows who this guy is right here. Very famous basketball player, tried his hand at baseball, was not so good at it. Now he is a car owner, guys. Michael Jordan has become a car owner in NASCAR. And it's created a bunch of controversy lately. They don't know exactly if this is such a good thing. The other thing is I don't know about his dedication to the sport and if he's willing to stick it out when times get tough in the racing industry. Racing industry has gone through many ups and many downs, and there's a lot more downs coming in the future, guys. If you guys want me to cover why NASCAR is going to be in the downs here shortly, give me a 1, 2 if you guys want me to just kind of talk about what's going on with Michael Jordan and his team. Yeah, W lawsuit on that deal. I really hope they kind of get schooled on it. I really do. Okay, let's go into it. I see Mike asking about the NASCAR thing, so let's go into this. I seen this that so he's got a 23XI race team. This is basically his basketball jersey number and when he played baseball. He co-owns with Denny Hamlin and is fighting with NASCAR over sanctions on body charter system. Basically, they wanted to use a certain car. That car does not meet NASCAR's regulations because they're able to do things that the other cars cannot, so they see it as an unfair advantage. Basically, that's what the lawsuit is. NASCAR is returning with a countersuit, and they're basically going after the 23XI race team, which is, again, half owned by Michael Jordan. So here's the car that they're using. Again, it's 23XI Racing Team. Apparently, it's car number 45. You see Michael Jordan all over this thing. He is basically the main sponsor on the car if you look at this. Anytime you got that much about one person on a car, they are the main sponsor. You got some secondary sponsors down here: Xfinity, McDonald's, Sunoco, which is the fuel, Beast across the back, and then there's one more sponsor down there on the lower fairing and one up here on the upper window pillar. So these are some of their sponsors that they have for this team. All right, let's read this right here. A permit guaranteed that they'd be able to race in order to maintain value. He argued that NASCAR could decide not to renew a team charter deal, so they're fighting to get charter, which means become a team within NASCAR. If they can't become a team, they're going to go under right away. They're not going to make it. They got to be able to charter in order to make a team. And oftentimes they'll start with one car and it'll branch into several other cars that are within that charter. And if they can't do that, then they're going to fail. Because one can't go against many. When you're dealing with big racing teams, you're just not going to compete. You don't have enough cars to be competitive in the sport. And this was something that NASCAR went to. Dale Earnhardt Sr. absolutely hated this. He frowned upon it. He thought it was a huge... He thought these charters were a horrible idea. He didn't want to see them come in, but they were way beyond him. And he wasn't at the position to fight them at the time. Jordan echoed the sentiment in May of 2024 that if you don't correct that, the sport is going to die. Not because of the competition aspect, but because economically it doesn't make sense for any business people. Correct. So basically what's going to happen is, why would somebody sponsor a NASCAR if the cars are only going to be owned by all of the three same people that are chartering all the cars? That's what this really is about. And it's a huge fight. And honestly, they should fight it. Check the chats here. I think he might suck at it like other drivers. Well, the driver is Hamlin. The driver is Denny Hamlin. So it's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a partial owner in the car, and he's only there more or less as the money. Consider him a Hendricks. Hendricks don't race. He has not been in a car in a very, very long time. Hendricks doesn't race. Absolutely not. None of his family does. But he's a car owner. He actually owns several cars. Awesome. So yeah, Michael Jordan could be pushing this quite a bit, and it could help the sport if they would listen. Again, this is NASCAR. They're very bullheaded, and it's only like 3 people making all the decisions in NASCAR. And honestly, it's all of the car owners. So most of the cars you guys see on that track are owned by 3 people. 4 tops. But most of them are owned by one, those few people. The days of independent racing are gone. You will not become an independent racer in NASCAR anymore. The day of you rolling up with your truck, your trailer, your car, and going and racing with everyone else is gone. Now you have to be approved. You have to go through so many different legal rigmaroles in order to even get in the gate. Once you get in the gate, it even becomes even worse that you need to achieve this charter status in order to stay there. Charter means that you're going to develop the team and create more cars within your charter. It is bad business sense. And it's going to drive more people out of the industry. And eventually, he's right, it will kill the industry. It will kill NASCAR if they keep going down this path. It doesn't matter if they make the cars look like cars we can buy. It doesn't. Most of those cars are fake anyway. They're cheap tin bodies or even crappy fiberglass stretched over a steel chassis. And underneath that chassis, all the cars are the same. Exactly all the cars are the same underneath the body. Mike, I don't think Jordan could fit in a stock car. Yeah, probably not. I could tell you I can't fit in one of those cars. I have a hard time fitting in a circle track car. And yes, I've been in circle track cars. Jordan is too heavy for cars. Yeah. NASCAR is about to fall off. Yep, Jay, it is. It is. NASCAR is about to take a huge L. And a lot of that huge L is going to come at the fact that they have created a system where only a few people own all the cars. Most of the sponsor money goes to the car owners. Car owners dish out a little bit to the drivers, a little bit to the crew, a little bit to the people who put on the event. But for the most part, they control the whole show. And it will kill the industry. We're already starting to see it, and it's going to get worse. And that's what this is about. And they declined to sign the charter agreement last year. A lot of this was they were arguing with, yeah, right here, Joe Gibbs Racing. These are all going to be big problems. And the fact that Gibbs even signed that tells you he's scared of losing his position in NASCAR. And he's got too many cars and too many teams pointing to him, so he signed it anyway. Yeah, this is going to be a huge fight, guys. This will be one that we're going to follow from this point on. I'm going to keep an eye on this one because this could have some reach. Um, when you get somebody as famous as Jordan's coming out here dropping big words towards the commissioner, Steve Phelps, it's gonna get heated. This is not over. This is gonna get really bad. So we will pay attention to that in future news articles. Just looking through some of these. We talked a lot about the Ford stuff already, the Porsche. All right. Yeah, we already covered the tools last week, so that was all on Car News from the Drive. We covered all that. Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, so I'm going to open it up to Q&A here for just a little bit, and then we're going to probably wrap up our Full Throttle after show. Our after show doesn't go as long as our main stream, which starts at 3, but yeah, we do cover this. Time for me to find the pillow. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mike. Good to have you in here today. Awesome seeing you chat in. We will definitely cover more, and thank you for that idea about the video for finding used cars. I will get that put together for you, and you'll be good to go with that. I know you're looking for a pickup, so I'll try to focus on getting that out hopefully in the next few weeks. Like I said, next week we're jammed up. We've got a radio to put in. We've got an oil change to do. And then we got to get cracking on this. I need to get a bunch of projects done on this. Some of them I got to get done at the same time. So it's going to be a push. But I will get that video rolled in when we start doing this vehicle. Like I said, I'm probably going to do it when we fix the front end on it. So awesome, awesome. Keep the chat open here just for a little bit longer. You guys chat in whatever you want. If you guys got any news topics you want me to cover, go ahead and put that stuff down below and we can definitely talk about it. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Sunday. This is our Full Throttle After Show. We start at 7 o'clock. We go through the news and we cover whatever topics we want to cover. And I leave it open for you guys to do open discussion. So I'm in the process of also cleaning up all my boxes from earlier today. All right. So while I'm waiting for you guys to chat anything else in, I'm going to do a quick recap of what today was. Okay. All right. So earlier today we did wipers on this thing. The wiper arms were in bad shape. I needed to replace them all. I do need to put new wipers on it. I'm not going to do a separate video on putting wiper blades on. You guys can figure that out if you guys are here. Otherwise, if you guys want a separate wiper video, I could do one. We do have other vehicles that we could possibly do wiper blades on. So I'm not super concerned about that. Not enough to do a whole separate video on it. The reason I did the wiper arms is because today we also did a major unboxing. We unboxed 3 different projects. These projects extend all the way from 2 new vehicles that we got to our fleet to all the parts that we're putting on this customer's vehicle. One part did not show up and may not show up. I'm trying to give it time, but then I'm going to reorder the front struts on this MagnaRide suspension on this Tahoe. I need the struts. We got to change them. The MagnaRide system's not working right. And I'm going to start by replacing the struts because the vehicle's already at 100K. At 100K, you should be replacing all shocks and struts anyway. They should have been replaced probably before this, but because they haven't, we're going to go ahead and do it. The 100K service is going to get very extensive because we also need to do a transmission flush. We need to change coils, wires, and plugs. We need to spray and clean out the throttle body and reprogram it. Also, we need to go through the whole vehicle top to bottom, and we have to fix damage on this vehicle that happened from a previous owner. So some of that damage was in the bumper, and we got to fix a few things up there, and we will do a separate video on that. Also, I'll go through and cover that transmission flush in a separate video, guys, because the transmission flush on any truck GM 2014 and newer will have a thermostat located in the oil system for the transmission. This is designed to hurry up and heat up the oil so that the transmission gets up to temp quicker. The problem with this is it causes the transmission to overheat, and within a short period of time, it will give the 8-speed transmissions a shudder. In order to fix that, there is a delete kit you put in there to remove that thermostat so that the oil just flows through like it's supposed to. That's what's going to get done to that truck. I will go way in the weeds on it. I'll pull up the kit. I'll show you guys how it's all put in. We're not going to do the transmission flush because I don't have that tool. It's a very expensive tool costing about $30K to do transmission flushes properly. I'm not buying that because I don't do enough transmission flushes to invest that kind of money. But that is what we got coming up, guys. Scroll down here. If you guys got anything else, get it chatted in. We're about to wrap this bad boy up here. So if you guys got anything else, get it in now. Otherwise, we're going to call her a night. It was a great day. We did a lot of stuff. We unboxed a lot. $2,500 worth of parts. Some were fun stuff that only costed a few bucks, so it was worth the shot. Some of it is a little bit more expensive. The MagneRide stuff for the rear shocks, those are super, super expensive. But most of it was not too bad. Radio was pretty expensive for the Honda. That radio project's going to be a big deal, guys. Huge deal. That radio project's going to be a big deal. It has a lot of features and a lot of stuff that the customers are going to want installed. You need to make sure everything's there. Basically, it's supposed to have everything. Backup camera, GPS, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's supposed to have all of it. And if it has it, they want it hooked up. So it's going to be a big, big, big project. I'm hoping to simplify it next week so that, like, I'm not going to show probably much of the oil change on that Honda. It's not worth it. You guys have seen me do oil changes, and I got plenty of oil changes to do coming up that I could show you guys an oil change from start to finish and exactly how long it's supposed to take and me not talking through it. I could do one of those videos for you guys. We're not going to do it on the Honda because I got to finish that Honda and give it back to them the same day. So it's going to be an in and out, one and done video. And I will probably start on it early Sunday morning to get the radio out, figure out how it all works, probably do a test with it, get it plugged in, make sure everything fits and everything's lining up. Then I'm going to reverse a few things so I can show you guys how to do it. So sometimes I have to do videos like that. I have to dig into them, get things set up for you guys, and then I kind of go into the weeds on it with you. And that'll definitely be one of them. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here, guys. This was a good video. Again, I love having my time here with you guys and doing different projects. It makes things so much nicer to be able to do some of these projects with you guys. I do this stuff live so you guys can see how it actually works. And by me doing it live, you guys know that I'm being upfront with you. So I really do like the setup and how I do it. So guys, thank you for all your support. If you guys are checking this out on replay, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring your notification bells so you get notified when I go live, which is every 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Sundays. Also, I'm trying to get back into doing clips, so clips will appear throughout the week. When you ring that notification bell, you'll get notified when I put out a new clip as well. Also consider joining our members by hitting the join button down below. For as little as $3 a month, you can become a member. You'll get early access to video topics. You'll also get to vote on potential videos coming up if I have multiple videos that could potentially come out at the same time. Also, at some point, I do want to start putting together a library over there of specific content to help educate people to work on cars. So when this starts going through, there's going to be a lot of content over there for you guys. But right now, it's you guys get early release stuff. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the next one.